as well have been in jail. I've walked the streets all day, I'll need for a bottle of your own brown ale. I'm coming home, Newcastle, if you never win the club again. I'll pray the dog at St. James's Park, if the Gallagher turn in the rain. I'm coming home.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode and another special. Away the lasses. What we're doing. Away the lasses. So I've got my pal Joe, who I sit right next to at the lasses matches from NFTV. How you doing, dude?
Class, aye, good, nice and coffee fuel. Probably had one too many coffees a day, but do you know what it is? I'm feeling good. This weekend's rolling on, and I'm looking forward to getting it going. Do you know what I mean? Back in the derby, back to feeling good, back to griefing the Mackhams. Come on.
That's what we're in for, isn't it? So yeah, spoiler alert. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the upcoming derby day between, obviously, the only derby, as Durham like to think with the one, but in mind it is the Toon v the Mackhams in church this Sunday, and we can't wait, can we, Joe?
Oh, it's going to be unreal, man. I mean, I remember it coming back last season and we're having it and we're talking about how we've got two lasses derbies now, or we want the men's derby back. And I feel like this year, because you've got the women's and the men's derbies, that's four of the best derbies in the whole of English football to go and see this season. It just feels, it's even bigger now because I feel like even though it doesn't get crossed over much, I feel like even if you go into a lads game and the lasses have beat the Mackham lasses, you're going to go in, you'll be like, yeah, man, war lasses beat your lasses, man.
Yep.
War lads are going to beat your lads as well.
You just got that extra bit, haven't you?
We aren't just looking at 2-0 this season. We're looking at 4-0. That's what we want against these this season. We want 4 wins all across the board. And that'll be a beautiful one. No room for the Mackhams.
It'll be beautiful, all right, aye. So it's the lasses kicking it off first, obviously, this Sunday. We'll talk about the men another time, man. We've got a whole month away for that, and everything's all up in the air with that lot at the minute, isn't it? So yeah, let's not talk about anything but the lasses, I think, today.
I know, if anyone does something right at the top of the show, if anyone's gutted because they couldn't get a ticket to the men's game, there is plenty of tickets still available for the women's game. So get your tickets this Sunday. It's only £8.50, I think, for adults and £2 or £3 for the kids. It's well worth it. It's cheaper than any ticket you're going to get at the men's, and you're still seeing the derby, and it is just as rambunctious, trust me.
True. And if you're lucky enough, you might even get to sit in the strawberry corner, stand in the strawberry corner with the likes of me and Joe and all the other rowdy ones, because we've managed to at least try and get some seats together this time so we can get a bit of noise going in what is a massive stadium. I appreciate for, when we can't quite fill it for the lasses, I get it, but look, it's going to be amazing, and we're going to win. I'll tell you what, before we do move fully on the derby, we touched on it obviously before we started. We'll talk about the Durham game that we've just had. Durham do like to think that now this is, a bit of a derby for them as well, and their fans are a bit rattled by us, and I don't know, it was a bit, let's say, raucous last season, wasn't it? A bit, everyone kind of hate each other for some bizarre reason, a bit more than the Mackhams, which is, blows my mind, I'll be honest. So yeah, we took a very, very cold trip down to Durham, didn't we, last week, Joe? Kindly driven by Paula, and freezed were absolute backsides off in what is probably one of the worst places to watch a match I've went to watch Newcastle Women personally. Just, all right, it's at the university, man. You just stand around the pitches if you're on a Sunday league one. That's how Paula quoted it, and she was right. But yeah, look, it was a 1-1 draw. I think we've all came away from it feeling like we should have won. Stats-wise, if you look at it, we should have won. Shots, we should have won. All this sort of thing. So, look, there's a lot of positives to take away from it, that we just need to be a bit more lethal in front of goal, maybe. But yeah, I mean, what's your general thoughts coming out of the Durham game initially there, Joe?
Look, we've done a lot of things right in that game. I will back you up, by the way. I do. With respect, because every fan base has good fans, every fan base has bad fans. I find the Durham fans the most naturally toxic fans. I hate that word toxic. They're not that bad. But the most naturally unforgiving fans in women's football. You go there, and a lot of other teams recognise that it's a bit of a horrible stadium to go to because it's not a stadium. It's got one stand and a field. But look, performances on the pitch. I wanted more from it because exactly what you touched upon there was when you go and look at the shots. I think we had something like 18 shots and 9 of them were on target, and we're only converting 1 goal. It's a problem I think we've had throughout most of the season is the conversion of goals. You can forget everything else going on. Why aren't we scoring? And I think that was the big thing last week. I mean, when Beth Lumsden came on, Freya Gregory turned into a different player. Freya Gregory had a good first half. Second half, it was like a new player. Beth Lumsden on one wing, Freya Gregory on the other, balls flinging in left, right, and centre. You've got Jordan Nobbs pinging balls just over the crossbar. It was great to see, and it's one of those games where you sit there and you're like, yes, we're going to end up winning this game 3-1. And it ended 1-1, and I think that's why the next day I woke up and I was like, yeah, look, I ended the match and I was like, I'm glad because they took 6 points from us last season. At least we're getting something. But for me, that's not a good enough silver lining. I want a better silver lining. Yes, we were the better team on the day. We had all the stats in our favour, but we just didn't convert that final third for some reason. And I feel like this has been the same ever since we came out with Tier 3. We just can't seem to score as much. And I don't get it. We've got all the power. Emily Murphy's a goal scorer. Una's a goal scorer. Molly Pike's a goal scorer. McQuaid's a goal scorer. Hales is a goal scorer. And I'm missing names out here as well. Beth Lumsden.
I know.
And we're just not getting goals across the board. But I don't know. I was frustrated with Durham. I felt there was a few moments where we weren't using my wings effectively enough and swinging balls across to each wing and switching wing quicker and really taking advantage of Durham being what I felt was a slower team. They were not as quick as us on the ball. Maybe the setup was a bit better, a bit stronger, but overall, I just wanted it to be a bit more impactful, a bit more aggressive. And overall, the one word I think I would definitely use that I think I need to see more from us this season is I wanted us to be more bloodthirsty last Sunday, more ruthless. Go in there and take everything you can in any way you can. Don't know how it's not happened last Sunday. We should have had it, but it didn't come about, did it?
No, it was frustrating, to be fair. It is hard, and we commented a lot of the times. I think when you're so used to being in a stand as well and watch it from a certain angle, watching it from literal pitch level, it is a different experience. And I know we get to do that a lot on away games. There's a lot of kind of grounds that we've been to where we've done that, but I don't know. Again, watching that game in particular, you're right. Like certain players in the first half, like I'm going to bring Gregory back into it, to be fair, were just far better in the second half. But I don't know what it was, that finishing. It's like the frustration behind it. It was almost, I don't know what it is, because I don't want to say it was lackluster, or I don't want to say that we don't have the kind of the scoring power, because you've just named so many people throughout the team where we could keep naming more and more and more, which is brilliant, by the way. I hate to see a team where you're like counting on just one or two people to score your goals. I love it that it comes from the wings, it comes from midfield, it comes from all over. But we do need to be stronger just in general, I think, overall. Some of the passing was great at times, some of it was a bit off, but in general, it was our game. That's where the frustration come from. And look, come on, how many years have we watched football, men, women, whatever? There's been a million games that we've watched like this across both sides of things, and there will be a million more where you think this should be our game and we don't win it. So there will always be that aspect of it. And again, I don't know what the answer is, but again, it's not our job to find the answer, I guess, is it? It's just our job to sit here and kind of analyse each of the games as we go to and see what we think. But I don't know, because Lumsden, for me, you see, she's one of my absolute favourites. Obviously, I know she didn't start, and I know it's an obvious thing to say to start her against the Mackems, being the Mackem Slayer that she is and stuff, but I'll go into it a bit more later because I want to talk about lineups. But just talk about Beth on her own, I just love watching her play, man. She's just my type of footballer. She always has been. Just like Stobbsy was. I'll just give that as a heads up because she plays for Durham now. But still miss her. But Murphy as well. When Murphy joined, when I watched her, I was like, oh, you see, that's my type of girl, man. She just gets stuck in. Old school footballer, as I would call her, for being a young lass. Like, oh, I just love a hard style of play. Like, and she goes down, she gets back up. You know what I mean? Like, we used to sing it for Fernie, Hard as Nails. I think we need to start singing it.
For Murphy.
For Murphy, we do, man. We do, because honestly, man, she's just, doesn't mess about, no rolling around. And there wasn't much of that from any of our girls, I've got to be honest, against Durham. Some of the Durham players did like to go down and hold parts of their body, which, I'll be honest, I didn't even think had been touched, but never mind. I think they were just cold mean. I think they were just being wimps, but that's just me being mean.
I like that terminology, I do. To be fair, when you're saying that about the Durham players, I didn't fault them so much last Sunday, because I felt the referee was a bit of a dodgy ref, and not in the sense of, oh, that ref's all against us. Not just that, a lot of the calls she was making were going one way, but not the other.
Weird.
Like, do you know the rules?
They were just weird.
And I think any team, as soon as you see a ref who's going to blur the lines a bit like that, you're going to go, right, we've got something here. Go down. Go on. go
Oh
down.
yeah, they'll just play into it, and I get
don't
that.
blame Durham too much, but
I get it. I get that. I know. It's
it's
just,
just hard how
oh,
stop and start it was. And again,
yeah,
it's like you say, we're players. We had better players on the pitch. We had better play styles, everything, and it just didn't come about, man. It didn't.
we
But it'll
did.
change. It will change.
It
And
will.
this Sunday is going to
Oh
be
no,
different. And when they come up
it
here, it's
will.
going to be different as well. Durham, right?
It
It's
is.
going to
I
be
know.
completely
Oh,
different.
we'll have to hand it to them, man, because last season was harsh. I didn't get to go to the away game because obviously the away game clashed with the cup final. But I was there for the home game. Yeah, they're just not nice, their fans, and I didn't like their players that day either. I'll be honest. It was a bit for being something that isn't like you expect that kind of cracking banter when it's Newcastle Sunderland because it's just the way it is, and we're kind of underlying hate with each other and all this sort of stuff that you want to talk about. And all jokes aside, in general, you can still get on with some of them. I'm being partially nice here,
Yeah, we've
family
got to be
friendly
a
and all
little bit
that.
nice.
I just feel a bit nice. But like, where's this Durham thing came from, man? I didn't get it last season. I'm not getting it this season, and no doubt I'll not get it next season because both of us will still be in the championship next season. So, or WSL 2. Crap. So yeah, shivers.
That's one thing I don't understand. Last season when we went to Durham, and I remember that a week. Well, when they came up, it was the home fixture first. Yes, home fixture first. And when they came up, and the way they were going on, celebrating in front of their fans, the way some of their
Yeah,
fans were going on, respect to their drummer.
unreal.
By the way, they've got a young drummer she doesn't give up. She just goes for it. Respect to their drummer fan.
Yeah,
He's brilliant. She's a young Bernie in the making. But
yeah,
the players, a lot of the fans, they seem very much like they've got this chip on the shoulder about Newcastle, like, oh, yous are the big boy club. And for me, I think it kind of devolves down to that they have no men's club backing them, and they're the only like women's
yeah. I
team in the
suppose.
top 2 tiers who have that. So they've got a bigger chip on their shoulder because they're the underdogs. I mean, staying in the same league for 12 years isn't an underdog story to me. It's just not being good enough to get promoted, like, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
year after
you're
year.
consistently average.
Yeah, you're consistently average. You ain't an underdog and you ain't a big dog. You're just consistently average. Well done, you. Like, congratulations, West Ham too. Do you know what I mean? Like,
We'll be in lush, yeah, I know. I
honestly,
love
I
it.
know being so positive and lovely.
Oh, to be fair, they'll have said it about us again. It just goes back to a bit of banter, doesn't it? Like it's all
It's
good, man.
back and forth. It's not a derby. I would say this about any other team. The only team that it comes
Yeah,
to, and I know they can hack the business, is the one that we've got on Sunday, which is Sunderland.
exactly,
They can hack
exactly.
the banter back and forth, unlike most
They
other.
really can. Oh no, honestly, it'll be great crack. It will. I don't know if they're going to be sitting. I don't know where they're sitting actually, because we've got less coming to this one, haven't we, than the last one.
Just
So I don't know
announced
where
that
they're
we've
going to put
sold,
them.
what was it? 15,000 was announced today. So we've sold
Yeah,
15,000 tickets. I can't
which
remember
is
where they
good.
actually sat last time. Was it in the one of the Leazes corners?
I think they did, because what used to be, remember years and years ago before we had level 7, where the away fans used to be? Is that where they're putting them again?
That's where it was, and I think that's where it will be again. Yeah,
Makes sense for it to be there because they're not going to open the higher levels because they don't need to.
it's one
So
of those where, as much as I've done all my research of results and fixtures, I could have messaged someone and found out where they're all sitting. I know someone who
yeah,
works at the Sunderland club.
let's just assume they're sitting there. It's fine.
Yeah, that's where it
In a
is.
way, I don't mind that because, like I say, it's where the away fans used to sit, and it's where people are still wanting the away fans to sit, even though we've now got level 7. And people don't realise that it's not logistical when we've got the men's team in there, for example, and it's all full to have the away fans where they used to be. It's just not. But people just think we're being idiots or horrible and stick them in level 7. I sit in level 7 every bloody week, man. It's great, man. I love it up there.
Don't get me wrong. One thing I will say about having away fans in level 7, it's a great tactical advantage because it's hard to make your voice travel from down there. I get that point,
Yeah.
but every other point, like, could you imagine Sunderland fans getting marched out of the Leazes corner and having to go all the way around, like possibly through Leazes Park
Wouldn't
and
work.
all that? It doesn't
Wouldn't
work.
work.
Walking through a dark park that time at night on a late night fixture and stuff.
And
It's
that's
just
what they
not
don't
safe.
listen to.
It's
And this
not
is what
safe.
we've tried to tell them. Like, people just whinge and go, oh, you're sticking them up there. I'm like, yeah, we've literally, security-wise, we've got no choice. Like, either that, right, or your fans are going to get a hiding, or we'll get a hiding off your fans, because some idiots are going to, jump on each other. It's as simple as that.
Never
Because
at the
football
women's zone.
fans are rogue.
Well, that's why we love the women's game, because it's never at the
Not the
women's.
women's. No, I was actually totally referring to the men's at this point. Yeah, sorry, apologies on that one, because it is never at the women's.
Yeah.
Unless we play Durham, because I do see a fist fight coming one day.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I feel like it will one day, and I know the type of culprit it'll
Mad,
be
isn't
from their
it?
side.
Mad.
But hey, you
Mad.
know, it is what it is. No other teams like that, and that's one thing I just want to say before we get fully into Sunderland and Newcastle is I was worried the first time the derby came around because I was like, I didn't take Emmy. It was a friendly when we were on tier 3 and we got beat by them 5-1, I think it was, and Emma Kelly got sent off because she'd just come from Sunderland, and I didn't take Emmy to that match because I didn't know what it was going to be like over at Appleton Colliery. I was like, look, it's Sunderland Newcastle. This could be quite aggressive.
Yeah, you never know.
I was shockingly surprised. And then when we went to the Stadium of Light last season, Emmy had me in absolute fits of nerves because she was walking around going, Dad, look, there's a Mackham. Hey, Dad, they're wearing a sun top of her voice. And I'm like, oh my God, some
Emmy's
dad's going to
mental,
come over
man.
and twat me down in a minute. And they didn't. They were laughing. The kids were going back at Emmy. Oh, look, there's a Geordie. Hey, look at that black and white top. That's horrible. And I was like, although it's insulting, it genuinely is. This is the banter you need, and it's great for the kids to see.
Yeah,
look,
it's fine.
You can insult each other. You can go at each other, but you all know at the end of the day, we're all just normal people coming to watch our team. You never take it personally.
Just love your own team, exactly. Just move on from it.
Passion.
Yeah.
And I love the kids getting to be able to have a bit of that. Like, it's amazing, because how often do they get to go to a game and genuinely grief other fans? Because let's face it, 9 times out of 10, there's no other fans. It's usually us. So
true. It's very true. It's very true. But I love that about the women's game as a whole. It is like family environment, isn't it, compared to men's? Like, I used to take Nicole to the men's games, but I've stopped doing it now. She hasn't been now since she hasn't been all this season. I think it was beginning of last season was the last time I took her. And she ended up in tears, and not even because of the away fans. It was because one of our idiotic fans, who Mr. Billy Big Balls, whatever you want to call him, he was about 18, if that, and he's like, giving it like that, and his arms are going everywhere, right? And he just ended up whacking Nicole. I could have had her on the other side, but there was someone else there. Like, I couldn't win, really. He hit her, and I think she had like a hot chocolate or something, and then that was it. So she was in tears before the match even started, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. And like, well, up in level 7, we weren't far from the away fans. So when they were starting, and everyone was shouting back, and then the language that was coming from some of the teenagers next to me was just vile. So and she doesn't like swearing, bless her. So I thought, you know what it is? I don't think I can take her anymore. It's awful. But I can take her at the women's matches. Granted, she doesn't come to everyone, because you've seen us coming on my own sometimes, you know, when it's too cold. Proper fair weather supporter Nicole is, like, bless her. But,
typical.
But she loves the environment of it, and she loves everyone that's sitting around, and, you know, we all get on dead well and stuff like that. So I love that environment for the kids, I really do. But like you say, you can go to the Mackham Stadium, whereas the men's, you've got to be police escorted in. The women's, we're all just freely walking in. I mean, I went with my mates to the last one, I'll be honest. I didn't take Nicole. I know you took Emmy. But strange enough, when you're talking about a kid, by the way, I've got a funny story. Because there was a guy walking in front with his daughter and his son must have been about 5-6 years old or something, right? So he turned around and he looked at me, and I had like they had like the sweatshirt on with the green and that on, yeah.
Aye.
And he stuck his tongue out at us, right? So I just smiled, and he turned back around. He turned back around and he did it again, right? Well, I'd had a few drinks, so I went back to him, sort of thing, right? So he turned around, I could see him giggling. And he turned around and he was like, and I was like, so the power, like, proper going at each other, walking up the stadium. My mates are like, Joe, man, he's just a little kid. I was like, he's loving it, man, it's fine. Oh. So his dad turned around and looked, and I just kind of like thought, oh, God, is his dad going to be all right? But his dad started killing himself laughing. So it was like, it was all right. So, like, it's not like I was effing and blind at the kid. Like, I'm just pulling faces and whatever. But it's just a bit of banter. You could never, ever, ever do that on a men's game. Simple as that. Even with a kid. Like, if I was walking to that stadium and a Mackham kid walking into the men's game, turned around and did that, for starters, the kid would probably be giving us the fingers or something. He wouldn't just stick his tongue out. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, the atmosphere has switched, isn't it? Straight away. So yeah, it's just a whole different environment. And Sunday's gonna be the same. It's just gonna be totally different. It's all right. We'll be singing a lot more. Right, there's gonna be a lot more noise, but the kids are still gonna be safe and happy. And you know what I mean? It's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be honest. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. But what I'll probably do, because should we talk lineups and stuff? Because I'll be honest, I don't know what I want. Because, you know, I'm looking at how we're kind of set up against Durham, or how we've set up in just previous games. And I know I've mentioned Lumsden already, so I think it's pretty obvious my stance on that one. But from the back, let's say from the back, right? How do you want to see us setting up, or how do you think we'll set up? Do you think it's going to be two separate things? Because it usually is with the men. When we do the men's ones, I'll be honest, as to this is like, oh, this is how we will set up. However, this is how Eddie's going to set up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
I think I know I've got a bit of both, because there's something I want to change in the lineup. So the things I want to change in the lineup is, and I said this in my little rant video, is against Durham, is I don't like we're using wing back anymore for the lasses. I think we're at a point now where we need faster centre backs to be able to cover it, and we need more. Look, I'm not trying to take away from Deanna Cooper, and I'm not trying to take away from Mannion or Wardlaw. They are brilliant, brilliant, brilliant players, but I just don't think Mannion and I don't think Cooper has the pace to cover more than 2 strikers coming running at them, which I think is a hard task for anyone. So for me personally, I would like to go and revert to a solid 4 at the back come to Sunday, and I would like to see it being Demi Stokes, Deanna Cooper, Charlotte Wardlow, and Leah Cataldo. I think that is we need pace. Sunderland
Great
have got a
shout.
very quick team. Katie Kitchen is a bloody stalwart. She was fast as out. Emily Scar, fast as out. We cannot be caught out on a break, and I want that to change. However, I think because it's a given test, we will still start with that wing back set up, with Demi Stokes being like a deeper left. Wardlaw going to sit on the right with Cooper and Mannion at the back. I think that's probably going to how it's going to end up being. And I'm not scared of that, because I know they're capable and I know they've done jobs before.
Yeah.
But it does worry us a little bit walking into it. Midfield, the main difference I want in midfield is if she's ready, I want Kelly starting over Alicia Body. And I never ever thought in tier 3, in the start of tier 2, that I would be saying I want Kelly over Body. But I love Body. She's a great player. But I personally think this season, when Kelly was fit, Kelly has a bigger impact than what Alicia Body does.
I agree, absolutely. Body for me is a funny one, because I'm not going to slate the lass at all. And I think with Body, I kind of always want so much more for her. I look at her and I think, you lass, you're like, she's strong, you know what I mean? She's got great skill. I always just want this kind of little bit extra that it doesn't seem to happen. So it's not that she's not, she is a great player. I don't know whether I'm expecting too much. I don't know if it's just me expecting, I really don't, but I don't know. I think it's, I don't know, a multitude of things with Body, but yeah, I would bring Kelly in for Body.
Do you not think when you're talking about Body, right, and the whole expecting too much, I think it goes down to when she was called up for England and then we give her the 3-year contract, which I believe was at the end of tier 3.
But she had some solid games, and it was just like, and as I say, I think it's just her presence, right? She's an absolute solid lass, so she's not like a stick thin, like, kind, you know what I mean? She's got like strength, she's got skill, so she's not easily pushed off the ball. But I don't know, there's always just that something extra that I expect to give, and it's not happening. So I don't know whether it's me expecting too much, as in I expect too much of a skill level, or am I expecting too much of a better attitude? I don't know. And I don't know if people agree with us on that as well. So
for me, I want to get bigger shin pads.
Oh, don't even get me started on those damn shin pads. I hate them in men's, women's games. Like, what is that little rice cracker thing that you're going to put in? It shouldn't be allowed.
There you go. It's the size of a pack of chewing gum. Do you know what I mean?
Shouldn't
and you
be
put
allowed,
that on
though.
your shins to try and protect it, and you've got metal studs coming flying at you. How man? I
don't
get
unreal.
it. But you know, it is what it is. I don't think that's going to be the major impact of Body's game. But yeah, Kelly and over Body.
I agree.
Jordan Nobbs, I think she has to be given the start as well. I think at the minute, and I stand corrected, is Jordan Nobbs has been coming into her own. She's not. I still don't think she's the player everyone expected her to be. Oh, she's going to win games. She's going to change the whole team. No, that's not happening. I never thought that was going to happen, and it's not happening. But she's having an impact in games. I feel like when it comes to a point where the lasses' heads are going down, Jordan Nobbs gets herself into a position and has a shot on target. And all of a sudden, everyone's heads go up. And then Jordan Nobbs goes quiet again, but the team's pushing and they're pushing and they're pushing, and that's the reason why
she
Jordan
has got
Nobbs
that kind of extra level with her, but that comes from the experience that she's got as well. So that was kind of bound to happen, wasn't it? So I understand why people get excited about Nobbs. I really do. I love how impactful she is, but she's tiny.
I know.
She's tiny, isn't she?
This
is coming from a small person.
I know, like Joanne makes you look like 6 foot nothing. Oh,
I'm massive, me.
Honestly, you're massith compared to her. It's mad how small Jordan Nobbs is, and she does make up with it in pace. She does. That's where her ability is at pace, and I touch of the ball. She's got a brilliant first touch. I think that's she's got one of the best first touches in this league right now, and I will never deny that. But yeah, I want Nobbs to start. I want Kelly to start, and other than that, I don't change much. I would possibly start, and I said this a little while ago, and they did it. I think it was the Man City game. I wanted Murphy and Una to start with Una up front, and I would like to see that again because I just don't think Hales at the minute's doing the.
I know.
I don't. She looks
happier in the last couple of games because we mentioned this, didn't we? She looks like she's got a bit of an extra spark. And I'll tell you what, she had some legs on her against Durham in a way that I haven't actually seen her run before. I was like, where's this extra speed came from? I love it. Like, bring it, you know what I mean? But yeah, I get you as the overall game. I would make changes up front,
That's where I think the main changes needs to be. Like, I can survive with the back back four being the whole wing back setup, that's fine with me. But I think forward, we need to make sure we hit the ground running against Sunderland, because maybe they don't have many wins, but they've got a lot of goals under their belt this season so far. I do believe they've got more goals than us so far, and that's the worrying thing for me. If they get away from us with 2 goals, can we really score 3 in a match? It's an ask.
We've got to be tight at the back. We've got to. Which is why the points you made about the defence is actually bang on, if I'm honest, because I think it's so much more important that we're tight at the back, because of the fact that, we just are struggling going forward. We shouldn't be, because, again, going back to all the goal scorers that you mentioned, we shouldn't be at all. And I know, as I say, it's a funny one, right? Because I love Una, and I know I'm calling for Lumsden to be on instead of Una. But then, like you've just made the point, we could play Una in a different position. So Lumsden could stay on the right. So really, we can make this work. It's just whether it will or not, or whether she'll just pretty much start with the same 11.
Honestly, for me, it's Murphy on the left, Una up front, Beth Lumsden on the right. In the second half, if we're struggling or need to contain, you can switch Murphy off, because I don't think Murphy's a 90-minute player. I think she's one of those 60 to 70-minute impact players, or she's an impact sub, and that's fine. You bring
Gregory's
Murphy
perfect
off.
To come out at that point.
Exactly my point. Gregory's the same. She's either a 60, 70-minute player, or she's an impact sub. And I love those players. They're great. I would rather you come on for 70 minutes and do an absolute job.
Absolutely smash it.
Than play 90 and struggle. Like, fine, love that. So I think Gregory to come on in the second half to replace Murphy, Hales to come on in the second half to replace Una, and then, well, when our Lumsden can play a full 90 for days. Do you know what I mean? She'll
never stop, will she?
Nah,
even if she's dying on the inside, she'll not stop.
Would you say she's a good comparison to Tonali for the fact of how much she just... She's just up and down the pitch all the time. I'm like, Beth,
she is. It's an excellent one. So I love comparing. I think we did it in the last one, actually, weren't we? Comparing, and that's when I talked about obviously losing Stubbs and comparing at Lascelles and the fact that she should have just stayed to be that kind of person. But actually going back to this, and I don't know if I've ever compared her before, but going back to Body to me has always been our Joe Linton, just that like brute in the midfield, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fair point. She is stronger than we give her credit for, I would say. And yes, definitely, because she loves a good tackle.
But she looks at it as well. You can look at her, like you look at Joe Linton, you're like, Joe's a beast, man. You look at Alyssa and she's like, go on, lass, strong as hell, muscly, like, you know what I mean? Like, so she's my Joe Linton.
I like that. No, I like that. That would be an interesting one for one day. Do a comparison video of all the players of who's
now I really do. I want to break down the whole squad. We don't have time on this one, no. But this. I'll definitely get you back on, man. We'll do this again. This is cool.
Good one. But no, that would be, honestly, they're my major changes. I don't know about you, Joe, but I don't see many changes actually coming though. I don't think
most of the changes we've mentioned are going to happen, but that was kind of the conversation really, is it's like what we would want in comparison what we think would happen. And most of the time with the men, every time we're like, we'll change this and this, but how won't, he'll do this and this. And predictably, that's what happens. So look, we'll be bang on. Sunday will come and the changes that we've said pretty much will not happen. But it's all right, because the players that we want starting will come off the bench and they'll do a job anyway. So that's the way I'm going to see it anyway. So
we support the movement. We'll back them in anyways, regardless of what the lineup is. We'll be like, we'll cheer them on from the very beginning all the way till the end. That's what we do. It's just simple as that.
It is. It's going to be great, man. But
that's mine. Bye.
That's it. No, I think if I'm honest, that's a perfect way to end, Joe. I think we've pretty much covered anything. Is there anything else you want to throw in about the last? Because I appreciate it might be another couple of months or so before I get you on, but is there anything else you've got to say or anything you want to plug in?
One thing I want to say is there's been a lot of back and forth lately about whether we're going to get promoted or whether we're going to win this and win that and how well this season's going. And we can't end up in a relegation fight. We're not ending up in a relegation fight. We're not winning the league either, I don't think. But one thing I want to make sure keeps going on in this is that regardless of whoever comes and whoever goes, we stand together for one reason, and that reason is this badge. Do you know what I mean? That is what matters. Absolutely. This badge matters. That badge matters. Like we are Newcastle, black and white through and through. And we're a one-club city for a reason. You saw the recent one that went from a one-club city to a one-team city, the recent advert for the Lasses. And for me, it's always been that way. I've never seen it really be Newcastle United men and women. The only reason I say men and women is so that you know who I'm talking about. It's always Newcastle United. That is what we are, and that's what it needs to stay. How we the lasses, how we the lads, how we the tune, up the mags.
That's about it, Joe. Look, it's been a pleasure again to have you on. And like I say, we'll do it again. I think maybe Or should we do it again before the next derby? Yeah, I'll have you in at least before then, man. Definitely, man.
We'll take over for the next
we'll do another review in the new year, man. It'll be absolutely fine. But thanks again, honestly, dude. It's always a pleasure. We may as well just play the old tune again, eh? We're ready for it? Let's go.
Oh, Newcastle. Well, I've dreamed the dark
Signing off on Joe's dulcet tones. Sayonara, dude.